Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name is Gregg Prescott from In5D.com. And this is my Insomniac chat. Right now, it's 4:41 here on the East Coast in the United States. I was going to do a spirit chat last night after the sunset here in Florida. And what happened was I got tired around 8:30 and I figured, okay, I'm just going to lay down for a couple minutes before I do a spirit chat. And next thing I know, it's like 11:30. I just fell asleep and slept hard for a couple hours. But since then, I've been up and working and yeah, my fingers are, you can see like dye on my fingers from all the tie dyeing I've been doing. Little trick though, they looked a lot worse than this, but if you take, I have a big pot of soda ash and water. And if you take the soda ash water solution and like an old rag or something and rub it between your hands, it'll get off a lot of that dye that's on there. But the problem is my fingernails get dyed and it looks like I have dirty fingernails, but it's just dye underneath my nails. Nothing I can do about that. Anyone who dyes shirts knows, that's part of what we deal with. So I ended up making like all these really, really cool shirts. I had crystal expert Adrian Goff on a couple of weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. And she recommended various crystals, at least 2 different crystals for each chakra. So what I ended up doing was I put these crystals that she recommended into the dye bottle, along with the 99.9% quartz crystal sand from Siskiyou Beach. The quartz crystal sand magnifies the other crystals' benefits. So you have these supercharged shirts that are just fantastic. So these are like the crown chakra ones that I did that have the crown chakra stones. I think it was apophyllite and celestial quartz, along with the quartz crystal sand that I put in there. So they came out really cool. These were a couple different patterns that I did too that were different. It's kind of like a tiger pattern here. And this one was just something different that I decided to do. But also did one for the sacral chakra. And then these have all 7 chakra stones covered in there. So you have 14 different chakra stones plus the 99.9% quartz crystal. So they're in every size and just, they're amazing. I get so excited when I make these. And, I did a bunch of the 7 chakra ones. Then I did the crown chakra ones as well. So I got a bunch of those on in5d.net. And if you scroll down to the bottom, if you bought a shirt, scroll down to the bottom of the page. And there's a lot of testimonials. Check them out, but leave a testimonial yourself. Okay. That would be appreciated. Also, one other way to support the channel is on our Patreon page, where you just go to patreon.com/in5d, and you got all these different tiers, wonderful ways that you can help support this program if you enjoy shows like this. So please check us out there. One thing before I go back, I want to do one more screen share here. This is pretty interesting. So I was checking out the Schumann resonance, and look what's happening right now. So if you're one of those people who can't sleep here in the United States, or if you're in Europe right now, we have looks like the start of a whiteout going on here. So let's take a peek at that, maybe a bigger picture of that. There we go, bam. So that started, I'm guessing, about 45 minutes ago or so. Looks like. So yeah, and once again, we see this line going across at the 16 marker, Hertz marker. here. It looks like there's something going on right here as well at the 24 marker. Lots of energy. Quick shout out to those who are joining us on YouTube. Got a new crowd here because, typically, like I said, I usually come on at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So, with it being 4:46 in the morning here in Florida, it's not a typical time that I would come on, but we're also reaching other people that may not have the opportunity to see us and join us here on Zoom and or YouTube. And I'm going to post the link to the Zoom if you want to join us on Zoom and say hi and get your name and face out there and share the codons of your voice. So quick hi and shout out to everyone on YouTube. Doug, Helga, Cryptnosis, David, IG, Sonia, Tropica, Heather, Victoria, Hazel, Christine, Gretchen, Violet Moon, and everyone else that's joining us. Appreciate that. Thank you for being here. And like I said, there's a link on Zoom. That link will disappear after this chat. So if you're watching on the recorded version, there's no link there if you're following the chat. That's just for the live chat. So that's what we have. So yeah, once again, these energies are just crushing it. And I don't know, I've been drained so much in the past, I don't know, week and a half or so. But, after just getting, I don't know, maybe 2 hours of sleep, a nap earlier tonight, I've been up and working and, eventually I just said, screw it, may as well do a live show. If we're going to be up and awake, may as well reach some of the people that we haven't been able to reach otherwise. So I encourage you guys to, join in and say hello, because everyone has an amazing story to tell, at least one. Chances are lots and lots of amazing stories. And break out of your introvertedness. We don't bite here, okay? It's not that hard to get up here and tell your story. And I should know, I'm the king of introverts, so. So Gail is saying, hi, can't sleep again. So there's other people that are joining the Insomniac chat. Have my sister coming down later on today. Well, this evening she's coming down, so chances are I'll be taking a nap. Yeah, I'll be going to bed probably in an hour and a half, 2 hours. So this is probably not going to be one of those longer spirit chats that we normally have. And depending on how much we get other people in here to join in as well, that's how long we will be doing this. So it's not going to be a monologue. It's, for all of us. And I encourage other people to join in. I do have a friend coming down tomorrow too. That's friends with my sister as well. We all went to school together in upstate New York, and she's coming down from Dunedin, and we're all going to hang out tomorrow, Saturday, at the beach. So that should be fun. So I'm going to unmute the chat room. If anyone wants to jump in, say hi. You're more than welcome to.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, I had a great day yesterday. I saw you on your beach, so I decided to go down to my beach and I did a little meditation there and grounded. And then I drove to the north end and got some pictures of the inlet and the lighthouse. And I had a wonderful afternoon. But the evening turned out to be bringing in some surprises of unexpected origin, like flooding in my kitchen and stuff. So I've been up
What?
all night dealing with that.
Flooding in your kitchen? Did you have a pipe break or something?
Well, my garbage disposal isn't working and it flooded into my dishwasher. I just was trying to wash some dishes and I guess the garbage disposal wasn't working and it's hooked up to the dishwasher. So all the water that was going down into the pipe was going into the dishwasher, which then flooded all over my floor. So I think I just have a backed up pipe that goes from the sink out to the outside of the house, but I don't have the skills to do it on my own. So I've been sopping up water off the floor for a couple hours.
Metaphysically, that's saying to look after your health. Just be sure that you're doing all the right things, and that your pipes are remaining clean as possible. Okay.
Thank
So
you,
that
thank you. Yeah, I had just signed my divorce papers yesterday, so I can see why that came in.
yeah, everything happens for a reason. So that had to happen for some reason and has something to do with keeping your pipes clean. Uh,
Yeah,
you know,
I believe it. I believe it.
your health.
But
Where are you? You're on the Atlantic side of Florida.
yes, I'm in New Smyrna Beach, which
Okay.
is in between Daytona and Cocoa.
Yeah,
It's
it's where
kind of
all
like,
the sharks hang out.
yeah, exactly. We have a great like inlet for surfing and stuff, but we do get a lot of sharks in the area. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's Florida. There's a lot
Yeah.
of sharks on the Atlantic coast. So.
We don't have a lot of, I mean, we have them here, but you just never hear of like the bull sharks bothering anyone here. Occasionally, you get like a nurse shark or lemon shark or something like that. I was at Turtle Beach, which is the south end of Siesta Key, and this guy one time he was fishing and he took this hook that was about the size of my arm and he put this chunk of meat on there, huge chunk of meat on this hook. And his friend took it out. His friend had a canoe and he took it out maybe 100 yards out into the Gulf, and he hooked into this huge nurse shark. And it had to have been, I don't know if you can see me, but this, at least that round. Um,
Wow.
it was freaking huge. And it took him a long time to bring that in. But eventually he brought in this nurse shark and took pictures of it. And then a bunch of us went down there and helped run water through her gills to get her back and healthy. And she swam away.
Aw.
But yeah, there's some pretty big sharks here, but they're not going to bother you. I
Well,
don't think.
yeah, they don't really. I don't think they ever purposely bothered people, anyways. I mean, I used to surf here, and the majority of people that get bit, they get bit and then let go of right away. It's not
Yeah,
like they just mistake them as some other source of food. But as soon as they take a bite, they're like, "Ooh, there's a big bone in that. We better let that go," you know. And they just bite and let go. It's not like Jaws, where it bites you in half or it drags you under the water. It's not, it's not usually anything that bad, but there are a lot of bites over here, but there's also a lot of people that come here to surf, and the majority of people that get bit are surfers on surfboards with their feet hanging off, and they kind of
hmm
look like a seal or
yeah.
something.
Did you have a longboard or a shortboard or both?
Well, I had both when I was younger. I haven't surfed in a lot of years, but I had both. But I I was never that good on the shortboard. Um, I was better at, longboard, smaller waves. I wasn't, big board cutting and, spraying and all the stuff that my guy friends were doing. That I wasn't that good at it, but I did it for a couple
Actually,
of years when I was younger.
the longboard is a much funnerest ride.
I think so too. I
Yeah.
just enjoy it better. It's easier. It's easier to get up on and to stay up on, and smoother ride all the way around. But
Yeah,
I haven't.
you can take some long rides with the longboard. You can find like just a long rolling wave and just hang on that for a long time versus
Yeah,
the shortboard where you just get on and you just rock the wave as and dart in and out as fast as you can. But they're both fun. And it's like downhill skiing. My favorite trails are usually the ones on the outside of the slope because they just take the longest to go down, and they're usually intermediate. And although I could ski the expert, I prefer the intermediate for downhill skiing because it's just like such a longer ride, just like the longboard when you're taking a nice rolling wave for a long distance.
I've never been snow skiing before. I've been water skiing, but not snow skiing. So
Mhm. Well,
someday.
yeah, I'm originally from upstate New York, so that's what we did up there. That and snowmobiling, sledding, ice fishing, hockey.
All that cold weather sporting stuff.
Yeah, all that crap when the weather sucks. That's why I live in Florida. The change of seasons are highly overrated. Give me summer every day of the year.
I agree. I agree. I lived in New York City for 4 years, and I was so glad to get back to Florida. I couldn't wait. The cold up there. I don't think people that live in this area or in warmer areas of the country realize how brutal it gets up there, especially with the wind chill, and then it's gray for like 6 months of the year. It's just
At least,
miserable. And it's if you don't enjoy freezing your butt off or being outside when it's cold in gray skies, it's just if you're a sun loving person and like warmer climates, New York City is just brutal, man.
yeah. Even if you go to like Long Island or Jersey to the beach, the water is freezing. It's cold year round. The warmest I've seen it get there in the Jersey beaches was maybe 73,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Well,
pretty cold for Florida water.
yeah, we were right on the beach on Staten Island. The
Hmm.
first year we lived on Governor's Island, which was right across from Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. And then
Yeah.
they closed that down and moved us over to Staten Island. And we were right over like this private beach because it was right below where the base housing was. And it was right underneath like the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. But it was like a pretty big stretch of beach and it was private. So there was never a lot of people there. But that water was just too cold, and there was like hypodermic needles and stuff would wash up, and it was just like nope, I'm not gonna risk that. No, thank you. There's just some disgusting stuff that washed up on the shore. Some Coney Island whitefish. um I don't know if you ever heard of those, but that's what
Oh yeah.
everybody called condoms when they would wash up. They call them Coney Island whitefish, and there's just some nasty stuff that would float up on the shore. So nobody ever went like braved going into the water there.
My parents took my sisters and me to Cape
We
Cod
were
one
right
summer.
over this private beach because it was
Hang on,
right below where.
Edwin, you have to mute YouTube. Okay. But my parents took my sisters and me to Cape Cod one time. And in the summertime, late summer, like August, and the water temperature there was like in the 50s. But then again, I was in California one year in 1989. I was out at Huntington Beach for the Ocean Pacific Surf Contest. I wasn't in it. I was just going to watch that. But in in August in Southern California, the water temperature was 65.
Oh my God. Oh, that's cold.
In August. It's like
Yeah.
the water never gets warm there.
In August here, it's like,
80
80
something.
something degrees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah.
I That's another place I have yet to go is California. I've never been to the West Coast.
You're not missing much. Stay here in Florida. You went to New York. It wasn't worth that, was it?
No, no. I mean, I I'm not a cold weather person.
No.
I definitely a tropical weather type of person. I'd rather go to like Thailand or Bali or somewhere, the
Cancun.
Maldives. Yeah, somewhere nice and warm with palm trees and hammocks and
Yeah.
places I can go meditate on the beach.
I'm with you. What
Grab
what
a
led
few.
what led to your awakening?
Um. Well, I long story, but I ended up. Um, I was hit head on by a drunk driver in 1992, and I ended up with a lot of chronic pain afterwards, and which ended me up bedbound for a long time. And being oh, being bedbound, I was alone in my room most of the time, and I noticed that all of my senses started to heighten. My hearing, my sense of sensitivity to light, everything just started to heighten. My sense of smell, and I had seen stuff when I was younger, but it like spiritual stuff when I was younger, but it had been a long time since I'd seen anything spiritually. And then I started to see spiritual things. So it was like my
What do you
regular
mean
sense.
spiritual things? Like what was it that you would see?
Well, I would get um, like flashes of visions in my head, and I get like claircognizance, like clear knowing. I would just suddenly know something that I had no way to know, and songs would pop into my head, and so I kind of I was aware that I was empathic, but I wasn't aware of what was going on really, and so um, I had started getting into like paranormal research and instrumental transcommunication, which is using technology and radios and stuff like that to communicate with spirit. And so I had been doing that for a while, and then I started doing scrying with like water and smoke and fire, different forms of scrying for communication. And that just once I started doing that, it was like everything just kind of blew right open. And so then I started taking some psychic development courses, and I took some mediumship courses. And um,
How long ago was this that this all started to unfold?
well, I started doing like paranormal research and stuff in 2008, but I didn't start having the spiritual, you know, visions and stuff like that on a regular basis until about 3 years ago. So it's been about 3 years now that it's
Was there something that led up to that happening that you got all of a sudden you were seeing things and more, you know, psychic
well,
in aspect?
when I was young, when I was a kid, I saw stuff, but my mom always told me, it's just my imagination or a bad dream, and not to pay any attention to it. And then when I was around 8, I was having like precognitive dreams of like bad stuff, like plane crash, and then the next day a plane crashed, and I was like, I don't want to have this, And once I said that, it all stopped. I didn't see any spirit anymore. I didn't have the dreams anymore, and I I saw a few things that made me believe in spirits throughout the years. But I think when I lived in Staten Island, um, my grandmother had passed away, and I started getting signs from her like all the time, and that's when I kind of really started believing that they could communicate with us, even if we weren't, psychic mediums, we could still communicate with our loved ones. And that got me kind of interested in it, got me into, you know, watching paranormal shows and getting into helping people, doing research so that I could help people that, um, you know, had hauntings or negative experiences. And I just started networking with a lot of people in the paranormal field and in the spiritual field. And doing that, I met more and more psychics and mediums. And doing that, I got into more and more groups of light workers. And that's really, like 3 years ago, that's really what got me into learning that anybody could awaken their gifts. And it wasn't just people that were born, and never shut down their gifts, people that grew up in families of mediums, and that anybody could do it. And so that was like eye opening to me. And so that's when I'm like, well, I'm not afraid of talking to spirit. I've never been afraid of the dark. I've never been afraid of spirit. I'm more afraid of what living people do to one another. And so I dove into it. There's a lot of free, like, free classes and stuff. And um, I I got in with another group that had just started and became one of their moderators and admins. And by doing that, they gave me free classes to psychic development and mediumship. So I was like, okay, well, this is free. I'm going to take advantage of it. And so I took those, and that really helped me to be able to, um, I mean, I don't like keep it turned on all the time, but it helped me to be able to tap into my intuition and to get messages. And um, just I don't feel alone anymore. I know I'm loved and guided and supported, and that's really what's helped me get through my last 9 months going through this divorce. Just knowing that I'm loved and guided and supported, and um, this is it's not trying to think of the right way to phrase it. It's not like a horrible ending. It's just the closing of a door to a chapter in my life that wasn't the greatest. And now it's gonna once I close that door, it's gonna allow me to open a door to whatever life I want. So it's been a lot of blessings have come out of it.
My daughter sees things before they happen, just like I do. And when she was younger, they kind of scared her as well, and as a kid, you don't understand your gifts and your abilities when you see things that haven't happened yet and they end up coming to fruition. Um, and I never talked to her about that. And I didn't know that she had that ability either, honestly, until later on in life. I should have assumed she was going to get that. But you never know. Her mom isn't that way, so I didn't know whether to ask her about it or not. But yeah, she does, and she sees things like me before they happen, and sometimes they're not the best things, and that's just part of what you see, and you try to make the best out of it. But sometimes it's not the greatest things. Most of the time, I that's all I get is most of the time is positive things, but occasionally you see stuff that you're like, man, I wish I didn't see that. Um,
Yeah.
well, for example, and it wasn't through a psychic sense, but a friend of mine reads tarot cards and she's really good at it. And she knows I do that. And but I just do it on the side. I'm not a fraction as good as she is. And she said, would you read my cards for me? I said, sure. And I felt horrible because it just showed me that she's married and things aren't right in her marriage. Her husband is probably cheating on her. And the cards, it was breaking my heart that these cards were coming out. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. And she's, no, no. She's like, no, no, no. It's actually confirming what I got myself. and it was what she was going through. And you hate doing that, if you're giving a reading, giving somebody. I do. I don't like giving anyone bad news, but
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I don't like to do that either. But
yeah,
I always say, you know, do you want a sugar coated lie or do you want the truth that might hurt initially, but at least then you'll know the truth
yeah,
and, hopefully get some guidance to help you to move forward with the truth. I mean, because a lie is still a lie and it's still going to eventually you're going to have to face the truth. So, you know, if you
yeah.
try to
Give
give it in a loving, caring manner, as empathetically and caring and compassionate as you can give it, it's usually, even if the person's crying, they usually thank you for, being honest with them and giving them the truth.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. And you were saying that anyone can awaken their gifts. I agree, but I think a lot has to do with the inner work. And what it shows me is that you've done a lot of your inner work to have these gifts unfold for you. Um,
Definitely.
for many people, they won't unlock because a lot of people aren't ready for those abilities and those gifts yet. But when you do a lot of your inner work, it doesn't all have to be done, but if the majority of your inner work is done, these abilities will unfold.
I think we're once you start doing shadow work, I don't know that it ever ends because I've been doing it for like 3 years and it's
Yeah.
still got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
But it seems like a never, you get over one fear or you release one fear and then you have to deal with another one and then you have to deal with this situation and you have to release anger and
Yeah.
it's a never ending process, but
Something always
uh,
seems to pop up, right?
most definitely. But I totally agree with you because um, for me that was the reason my husband said he left because he couldn't believe in any of it and he chose not to. And I always said to him, look, I'm not trying to change your belief system. I'm not trying to force you to believe in anything I believe in. I'm just sharing some of my experiences. And whether you choose to believe or not, that's on you. But apparently it was just too much for him. And he's like, well, you're not the same girl I married. I'm like, well, we've been married for 25 years. I certainly hope I'm not the same girl you married. But he just was one of those people that wanted to keep his head buried in the sand, didn't want to know about it. It was happier not knowing about it. And at first, I kind of blamed myself because of my awakening why he left. And I'm like, you know what? You know, he could have chose to grow with me, but maybe this was the universe's way of saying, if it's that hard, if it's not, that's not the person that's meant to be in your life because you have an amazing, beautiful heart and you want to help people. And if he can't see that and share like and support you and you being happy doing that, then he shouldn't be there anymore.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I'm able to see like I learned a lot of lessons over the last year and I'm able to see the blessings and stuff that came out of the disillusionment of my marriage. And
Hey, I'm over two.
you too, huh? This
Yeah.
was my first time going through this. It's the only time I was ever married, but um,
Yeah,
definitely,
I don't see myself getting married again.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
either.
The more that I look into it, the whole ring, the representation of the rings of Saturn, Saturn being Satan, in astrotheology, it just doesn't make sense. I would consider, if I found the right woman, I'd consider exchanging vows maybe on a beach, but not any. I can't see myself getting married in the church again.
Yeah,
Screw that.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So I see we got some new people here that I haven't seen on our chat before. Helga and Edwin, welcome to our chat.
Thanks, Greg. Much appreciated to be here.
And where are you?
No, fine, thanks. We can't complain over here. We just came. I'm actually from South Africa. Let me first begin. I'm from South Africa, so yeah, we're having a lot of load shedding and stuff like that. And we actually just came out of load shedding, and I saw, you are live. So I was quite amazed about that one because of the time frames. It's normally not in this time frame.
What
So
time?
I'm actually.
What time is it there?
Yeah, it's 11:15 in the morning.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm at work. But yeah, I hear the conversation actually going on regarding marriage and things like that and so on. And I've been like for 8 years I've been also like single, and I just like do what it's my I had 3 wives before. So also I am not into to say let's marry again and stuff like that, but I actually wanted to have a just somebody that can be with me. And I said to myself, okay, what I'll do is I'll choose somebody that can think like me and can act like me, and then there's to do that, then there's more compatibility between the two people. And yeah, so I got what I wanted, and yeah, so far it's for a year, and the both of us are going quite strong. So yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's hard to find. It's hard to find that person, that right person that's you're supposed to be with.
Yeah, it's very, very, very difficult. Like I said, I waited 8 years to find somebody that acts like me and thinks like me. And I must say it was a wise choice waiting for the right one, and not just like taking anybody that you meet and may sound sweet or whatever the case may be. Because now I've got somebody that's basically me, a duplicate of me. And I think from here going on forward can just be like much easier and things like that. So yeah, like I said, a year now, and everything is going very, very smooth.
Would you call that person your twin flame?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, yes, I can literally say that on this stage. It's like I said, is the compatibility is like immense. Everything I like in life, she likes in life, and there's no constraints between what we're thinking. Sometimes she does something and I like that as well. So yeah, the compatibility is just like awesome doing that way.
Yeah, you kind of finish each other's sentences and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think about something and she thinks about the same thing simultaneously. Very, very nice. Yeah. So yeah.
So what led to your awakening, Edwin?
Yeah. It came actually a very long time ago that I saw that things are not really things are not seeming like it should be. And I mean it's really a couple of years ago. And yeah, and I didn't know what was actually the truth, to put it that way, or what I consider on this stage is the truth. So I'm still busy with it. To having the whole awakening effect and things like that. There's a lot of things I actually still have a problem connecting with and so on. But yeah, at least I'm beginning. It just takes me very long, but yeah, and your channel, for instance, are helping me a lot on this stage. To guide me more and to my total awakening, if I can put it that way. So yeah. So I'm listening intently to what you guys have to say over there, but I can't always participate. It's like normally 2 o'clock for me in the morning or something like that. But yeah, so I do appreciate the time frame you have on this stage.
That's one of the things that I've been cognizant about. I know that I try to, have a spirit chat on 7 o'clock Eastern, our time here in the United States, but I also try to shake things up, maybe sometime in the mid-afternoon here, which would help out people that are in Europe and on the other side of the world, Australia. I'm trying to get everybody involved. Helga's like, thank you, finally. And I want everyone to join in and to be able to participate in this, but it's hard to please everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to please everyone, but like you see on this stage, you took a time frame and already you have a couple of people that's actually logged in. So because of your channel and what you say and what's been happening on the channel, I think you always have listeners. Doesn't matter what time frame you choose, you always have somebody that pops in and say hello and things like that and so on. So yeah, so you don't have to worry. You will get your customers.
Well, ideally, we would just go 24 hours. I'd have somebody
Yeah,
that's
okay.
in Europe that would take over, and somebody
Yeah.
in Australia that could take over after that, and
Oh,
just
that
leave it
would be
on.
quite cool. Yeah, yeah, that would be quite cool. A 24-hour channel.
Yeah, that'd be great.
How's
Just
YouTube
your
gonna like
chat.
that, eh?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah, we'll make it into a TV station, In5D TV. Yeah, just
Yes,
live chat
yes,
24
yes.
hours. The real reality
That's what I
show,
call forward thinking. That's forward thinking.
right? Right. That'd be fun. So,
That would definitely be fun.
yeah. Well, thank you for jumping in and saying hi.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure, brother. Helga. Yeah, I see you there.
Shy one.
Yeah. You can talk. You can say hi.
Hi.
There you
Oh
go.
no.
Yeah, you're
Oh
on.
Jesus. Really?
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Where are you?
In the Netherlands.
And what time is it there?
Let me see. 10:23
Oh my
in
gosh.
the morning.
Okay, so there's a
So
5-hour difference then.
yes, my sister is also in Florida.
Okay.
So
In
yes, five.
paradise, in other words, yes.
Well, I'm in paradise because I am paradise. I'm
Well,
everything.
you've got a winter jacket on. That can't be
Yeah,
paradise
it's
for me.
cold. Well, yeah, I understand. I was looking at you with your t-shirt and I'm sitting here in winter time. But anyways,
Yeah, it was like, well, you guys go Celsius, so I'm gonna say it was probably like 23 Celsius today. It was 80 degrees here. So, it was beautiful out. So just it's summer.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's like summer year round in Florida. So
Yeah, I know. I'm always jealous when my sister calls me and I see the sun and I have to put on my winter jacket.
yeah.
But it's just an experience.
Where in Florida is she?
Uh, oh no, I don't. I asked her if she lives far from Siesta Keys, and she said no.
Okay.
So she's, I think, around your place, your area.
Well, you can go from one side of Florida to the other in 2 hours. As a matter of fact, one time, when I was living in Apollo Beach.
Hold on. I can't believe that I'm talking to you guys. Is this a dream or is this real?
Are we live or is this
Thank
memorized?
you. I'm so happy to reconnect because
Yeah.
when we are one,
Mhm.
we know each other already, and that is
Definitely.
what we feel. Oh, I'm talking really.
Star Family. Bringing Star Family together. What led to your awakening, Helga?
All the pain, all the suffering, all the don't understand how people are, and I ask myself the question, what the fuck did I came to do? Why am I here? And it leads me to awakening. Because before I was Christian and I was believing in God and Jesus, but I was always scared. And so I thought, how can I be scared if God is loving? So I left the church.
How
I was
long
very
ago?
disappointed for many years. I was 23 and I'm 55 now. So a couple of years.
31 years ago. Yeah.
Whoa, that long.
32. 21. Yeah, 32.
But
Yeah.
but I've been raised up like a Christian, and it looks like it had such a strong hold on what I thought that I was. And when I changed paths and came on the path of uh, YouTube, I started with Abraham-Hicks. She was the one that opened my eyes that I created my own reality. And yeah, I'm so happy that I found that path because it brought me to where I'm now, knowing that I'm not the body and that I can change my life for the better or for the worse, so that I know that I am in control.
What was some of the biggest spiritual lessons you've learned along your path?
To let go of all that I thought that I knew.
Well, I guess that included, a long time ago, religion, right?
Definitely. And you know what? My awakening, I don't know if I should call it awakening, because I felt that I knew this all my life. I always thought when I was a young girl, a young child, that I had to make people happy, to be there for them, because I saw them suffering from things that I couldn't understand. I always felt different, but I didn't know what it was. And now that I know what it is, I see also why people respond the way they do, because I see the big picture now. This is all a play for me. And yeah, it's hard because I'm the only one who thinks it's like this. I'm the black sheep, literally. No, I'm not black, I'm brown, but anyway, you know, I feel that I have to make a choice on loving them, knowing that we are one, and loving them, knowing we are one. I have no other choice. Even though they treat me bad, I choose for myself to love them anyway.
You said it's all play for you. Aren't you're
Yeah,
co-creating that play though with other people, right?
yep.
This is all a huge co-creation of, we all manifested this
Yes.
chat to happen right now,
Yes.
which is great. Yeah.
And by the way, this is not the first time that I'm here. I've been following you. I started with how to get, no, oh, listen, English is not my first language, by the way.
You're
So,
doing great. Yeah.
Thank you. Um, I was following Todd Medina first, and then he interviewed you one time a few years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to you because I saw that his mission has another concept than yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this, so that we can participate.
Right.
Is the right word?
Participate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I follow him also. Eh?
Oh,
Don't get me
definitely.
wrong, but
Me too.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is real. This is
Yeah,
yeah,
this is different than what Todd goes one-on-one with people.
yeah,
Occasionally he has a group chat, but this is predominantly group chat. And you know, if I don't get the participation, I'll sign off quickly because I'm
yeah.
an
I know.
introvert.
Yeah, yeah. One thing before I stop because I don't want all the attention to me too long.
I feel the same way. I know exactly what you're saying.
Oh,
Don't throw it back at me. I'm pushing it back on you.
um, what I find strange is that people color like me, I hardly see them on those spirit chats. Where are they?
They're welcome.
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
everyone's welcome to join.
yeah. But
Yeah,
is that maybe that they are not ready to awake yet, or what is it?
I don't know.
I find it weird.
Well, it's not just that. I notice Asians. I haven't seen many Asian people on here
Yeah, also.
either. Yeah.
But I'm lucky. I have four sons, and my one of my oldest sons, she's they have a relationship, and oh, this is so wonderful. She's also awakened, and because she told me when she was 12 years, she had a accident and she was out of her body. But before she told me that, I was I always talk about you're not a body, and and people get so tired of me. But she was one person that said, "Oh," she calls me mommy. She said, "Mommy, I love you so much because when I talk to you, I realize I feel what you say, and I recognize that, yeah, this is what I am." And it brought me back to the moment that I came out of my body. So I said, "Oh, thank you. I'm not alone anymore.
You never
I'm not
have been.
alone anymore."
You really never have been alone.
Yeah, I know, but it felt like
I know.
because I didn't know this part.
Hmm.
And now I know, and now I feel free.
I remember
So
the
thank
day.
you.
Oh, my pleasure, Helga. Thank you for joining us. I remember the day I left the religion, and I felt like the weight of the world lifted off of my shoulders that day. It just I I didn't feel comfortable every time when I was a kid. I got the EBGBs walking into a church. It just never felt right going into a church. And those people that are religious, I love you. My parents are religious. I
Mhm,
don't love them any less. And they love me. You know, they know that I do believe in an all loving creator source, just not the biblical God. You know, it's not. Matter of fact, you know, when I do my walk of gratitude, I don't mention God or Jesus. I say, dear creator, source, universe, spirit guides, guardian angels, friends and family on both sides of the veil, galactic neighbors and friends, higher self, Mother Earth. So I just that's my posse. That's who I bring in. But when I tell people about my, what I say on my walk of gratitude, I encourage them to bring in whoever it is that you
mhm.
have in your posse, make that your own. You know, if you follow archangels and Jesus and whoever else, great, make them part of your posse. But for me, those are the ones that I feel closest with, the ones that I named. And you know, it's has nothing to do with religion. I think that all religious texts should be four words: love everyone, respect everything. That's it.
Yes, yes.
That's it. It's crazy. So yeah, thank you for joining us, Helga. You have a voice. You have a place to talk.
Okay. Finally,
You have family here.
yes, I feel that I have family.
Hmm.
I when I hear that I had um, uh, No, I have to start again. I always felt that I didn't belong here because I feel that I have so much love. Of course, I have also anger, but I always felt that I was loved in a way. And otherwise, I couldn't feel pain if I wasn't loved. And I asked if there are people here that I feel more connected with, please, please, please open the door. Where are they? And I found you guys.
We weren't hiding. we, we
Yeah,
weren't
you
hiding
were.
from anyone. No, no,
You
no.
were
You
behind
weren't looking hard enough.
In5D.
That's funny.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great. Oh, no, thank you for
You
joining
made
us.
my day. You made my day. All of you. Yes.
Hey, it's the Helga show. Yay.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
no,
give
no,
you...
no.
I'd much rather hear you talk than me.
No, I did my part.
That's great. Desiree, why are you awake right now?
Hey, Daisy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're on the East Coast also, so there's no excuse for you. Why are you awake?
Oh, I'm in the mid-east, Illinois. Drop in the middle of the shit fucking. Sorry, excuse my
Oh, so you're like
lingo.
you're an
Illinois.
hour off then. So you're 4:30 then.
Yeah, I woke up at 3:55 because somebody woke me up and told me and showed me into the future. There's something happening I don't know if people know about. And what I was shown was drones hovering on top of us, not even like 30 feet above us. And there were like, there's gray drones and like pure black drones, kind of look like, I don't know, you remember the movie Aliens? Kind of like those. And they suck the energy out of people and make them really weak. Like, and they put out like images to people, like it's like the Matrix code almost like. And there was a female uh, energy that came out, and her name started with a T. And she was showing me, and I don't know if it was Tara, Tara, or something, but she showed me her name, and she was showing me how everybody's gonna have to have tattoos or something to resemble like what their identity is to these drones, and these drones know who you are, where you are, who like what's going on in your life. They know every aspect about you, and if you don't comply to what the energy that they're throwing out, then you're in violation. And there was this house that I was in, like this weird house I've never been before. And the bookshelf like came out, and there was a wall, like there was a bright light coming from behind the bookshelf, and I kept trying to hide behind there, but something, I kept being shown these drones. They kept telling me, no, don't go behind them, don't go into the bookshelf, behind the bookshelf yet. I want you to see this. So, and then as at 3:55, I woke up. I was like, "What the hell? Where did I
I
just
think
go?"
that's more of an alternate timeline. Honestly, I don't see that happening here.
But it's more like a matrix. Like what is going on right now? What are they portraying to us? Like
Right.
TV, kind of like that. But I go to places like this, like when I was younger, and I think that's why I have my seizures too, is because they try to tell me things and I don't listen. Um, I've seen bombs fall from the sky. I used to wake up when I was younger, looking out windows, like,
That's
oh my
not going to
god,
happen. That
what is
won't
that?
happen.
But if I had a past life or any energy that had to deal with any of this, this just showed me like a mind control, something that's happening within the mainstream media. But but there was this female energy that kept coming up at me and yelling at me, hey, you need to look at what's going on right now. You need to awaken. It's happening. So, and I was shot up out of bed, and I was low on blood sugar for some reason. I had to eat a donut, but but yeah, there's something happening within the energy field, and it feels like it's a controlling energy. But I don't know where they took me. I don't know. It's just I'm always since I was born. I've always been taken to other realms and other aspects of life.
Well, looking at the Schumann, I'm just going to go to that real quick. When I signed on, we were right here at this whiteout that was going on. And you know, there's been a lot of activity going on here on the Schumann resonance. And there was a question in the chat room, and I did see it. And if you want to ask questions, it helps to write them in all capital letters on the chat room. But I did copy and paste it. So hang on. It was from Gretchen. Do you feel it's the Schumann resonance causing the insomnia? I think it's a conglomeration of things. We still have the energies from the moon, that the full moon, and we're just coming out of the tail end of Mercury retrograde. Man, that was a doozy this time. And we have all sorts of energies that are going on. Those concentric rings from the sun, they're perpetual. They just don't stop. We're getting energies from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And what I'm noticing is that what we're seeing are, in particular, seems to be more men are getting drained and more women are getting amped up from these energies. And as it turns out, the men end up sleeping more and the women are like basically insomniacs. But now I'm the insomniac, although I did get a couple hours sleep. But it's just interesting how this is all playing out. I'm going to paste the link to the chat here on YouTube. If you want to join us, feel free to. And I need to get some water. So if one of you people want to speak for me. I'm going to get some water though. I'm out. Be right back.
Do you hear me? Okay. I'm a person who always look at the sky, expecting something to see. And I always make pictures. And at this moment, I'm at my mother's place because I'm taking care of her. That's another story. And a few days ago, I made a picture from the sky. It was dark in the night, middle in the night. The reason why I made a picture was I saw a red ball of light. And I took a picture. And the day after, I always do that when I make pictures from the sky. I, how do you say it? Make the picture bigger. When I make that picture bigger, I saw a face, a real face from, I don't know for sure. I think it is a man, but the head is big. The neck is very thick. And he was looking at me. I made a screenshot from the face. I show it to all of the people and they say, I see a face, a man with glasses looking at me. What is that?
I've seen the same thing. Well, it wasn't. Well, I was actually sitting inside my house, and I took a video of the birds singing, and then all of a sudden, like I stop. He tells me to stop, and I go back and I re-look at the video and I pause it, and there was this being inside the tree. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
trees were forming his face, and he had glasses, but his
yeah,
eyes were like
yeah,
looking at me, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh. So you're not alone. If I can, yeah, I'm gonna try to find it.
I
Yeah.
have it on my phone, but I don't know how I have to share it so that
On the
you can
bottom
see.
there, if you hit your screen, the
Yeah.
bottom will pop up, and it'll be a green square on the bottom saying share. So touch your screen.
Oh, wait, it starts to rain. I have to. Ooh, it starts to rain. Sorry, sorry that I make a lot of noise. I'm going inside. Oh, I'm so happy that I find you guys. Let me see. Share. And then what? Let me see.
So it
Oh,
says
photo.
share, and then it says photo on the top.
Yeah. And then do stand. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Let me see. Camera. Oh, I'm so happy. Let me see.
While you're doing that, I see some regulars from our 7 o'clock evening chat on YouTube. So shout out to everyone there.
Question.
There you go. Okay.
If I send this picture, I don't know if it is possible for you guys to make it bigger, because you have to make it bigger, then you will see the face. But I'm going to share it anyway. And then I'm going to try to find the one that I make a screenshot from, that you can truly see the face right away. What did I have to do again? To go to the picture?
Can you put that last picture? Can you put that last picture back up? And I'll get a screenshot of it and I can blow it up on my computer.
How do I have to do it?
Tap your screen, and then there's the green square, and it should share in the first thing that says photo on top.
Yep. Thank you. Oh. Didn't you see the picture? Or is it gone?
It's not up there now.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
You have it?
Yeah, I just took a screenshot of it. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to try to find the other one. Mute me when I find it. I will wave, and then you can unmute me again, please.
I just wanted to say good night or good morning to everybody. I'm going to head out. I got to get a couple hours sleep. I have heights to deal with. So I hope everybody has a blessed day.
All right. Thank you for jumping on, Debbie.
Thanks again for having me.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let me see if this. No, it's not this. Can anyone talk, please?
Yeah. What are we looking at?
Which picture do you have? It's not this one. I don't see the face. This is always happening to me. When I want to share this, it's like he don't want me to show anyone else.
I have the darker picture, the first one that you put up.
Yeah, if you blow it up, you
okay.
see. the not the first tree, but the second. On
Okay.
the right.
Well, you'll have to get out of the screen share for me to do
Yeah,
that.
how do I do that? Oh, start video. Do I have to press start video?
I'm not sure how to do it on a cell phone.
Let me see. Where am I? Okay.
I know on a
Oh,
laptop, it's there's an option at the top of the screen.
I think
There you go. You did
I
it.
had to,
Okay.
yeah, I had to share something again.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do a screen share now, and you can tell us what we're looking at. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's your picture. Now, which tree is it that you said you wanted us to go to?
The one not on the, for me, it is on the, to
This
start
one?
on the left one.
This one?
I don't see your mark. No, the other one.
This one.
A little bit further. That one.
I don't see it.
Go to the left. Blow it. Is that all you can blow it?
No. Are we
Then
looking
you
at
have
this?
to,
This
no,
one
no, no,
right?
no, 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 no. The last one. The last one.
This one.
On. Do you see me? No, 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 no.
My other left.
Yes.
It would be this one. Are we looking at this
Further, a little bit further. Yeah.
further?
Back. Where are you? Where is your mouse?
I'm right here.
Okay.
This is the center.
You are in the middle, exactly, but you have to go to my right. And that is your left.
Here?
You see the red, yeah, blow that up. It's
Okay,
not
what
clear.
are we looking at here?
It's that you underneath the, it's too, no, I can't see it. No, it's, listen, what I'm going to do, it's not clear in the, I have one picture that I blew it up, make a screenshot.
Okay.
And that picture I'm going to try to find.
Okay.
Okay, please mute me so that I don't disturb
Okay.
others.
Oops. She goes, mute me. And I muted her and she goes, and you're muted. Come back on. You unmute yourself when you're ready. Okay. Just giving us the thumbs up. There's two people there. Edwin.
Yeah, this is Sherry.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the
So,
chat.
yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah.
so yeah, this is the girl I've talked about that that thinks like me and acts like me, and I must say it's a wonderful combination being like that, because there's not a lot of also English is not my native language, so excuse me, but so there's not a lot of adjustments between us. So we already at the common ground. We basically the same. But yeah, it's working, and I think Helga is waving. Yes.
Okay.
No, she's tapping. But yeah.
That's
must
awesome.
say-
Congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you. But I must say, what Helga is experiencing on this stage, I have something similar. Normally, what happens with me is, okay, I thought I was knocked off over there. What's happening with me is,
I think she says
normally
she's ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hang on.
Let's see.
Okay, you're unmuted now.
I found it, and I posted. Did you find? Did you saw?
You only posted it for like a microsecond, and then it was gone.
You got it?
I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here, let me go here and here. So this is what you had. This is what you posted.
Yeah. Look the face.
Would this be it right here?
Yeah, the eyes.
Yeah.
You have to, you see it?
Yeah.
The nose, a big nose, a mouth, a chin, a neck. Oh, ooh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
I see it now. And this would be the hair, apparently.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There's actually a
Isn't it
couple
weird?
there. There's one right there.
Yeah,
It looks like a gray
I
bean,
saw
and there's
three.
like
I saw
a
three.
blue bean behind it.
A blue beam?
It looks like a blue bean, like behind it. Like there's another one behind it.
Yeah, I saw three faces. One big one with the one underneath with like a turband, a white like it has something on its head.
That's its yeah. That it's like its brain, like an Egyptian, like old times.
Oh,
If you remember, like the old mummy, you know, like how their
yes.
brains were
Yeah.
like, or like in the old, like how they used to mummify them, or how when they used to elongate their heads to make them bigger. Like that, you have a ET right there that's communicating with you. You can see its eyes. I see it.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm at the same place right now. And you know, my mother, um, I'm taking care of her, as I already said, because she's sick. And the doctor said she won't get better. I think they came to bring me a message, but I don't know what kind of message they wanted me to know. But are those the same that you saw, Desiree?
I don't know if you see him. Just okay, if you look above my car to the right hand, there's eyes. He's coming to me like a different being. Like a if you go in, he's in the trees. But I have him circled. Uh there's a different picture I have here. But the trees speak to me in different ways. Okay, here's a circled picture.
Sorry,
But
my son called.
they come to me with I can see their faces. The other being that you was showing, they weren't showing their face all the way yet. I mean, they were showing their eyes, and well, to you they probably were, but not to us. Like when that picture you posted, they kind of shielded themselves to us. But I don't know if you see his face. I can see it, but maybe the message is different for everybody. It's different for everybody. But to me, when I saw that picture of yours, it told me that you're not alone and don't worry about bad things. But those are the things that, I look at, trees and they talk to me. They sway when I look at them and they say hi and. But I call him the green man. He comes to me and talks to me through the trees. So, and he's ascended master. So, yours were actually in the sky, light, like energy in the sky. So maybe those are your guides. Maybe those are the beings that are trying to talk to you. So maybe it's time
I'm
for
here.
you to meditate upon them.
Yeah, but if I don't know their names, what do I have to? Do I just have to say, "Hey, yo, guys, I saw your face. I know that you are here surrounding me." Uh, I just say
They'll tell
hello.
you their names eventually.
Sorry.
They'll tell you their names eventually, whenever you're ready for it.
At night,
Mine come out and they're mean about it. They're like, I'm this, and I'm like, whoa. Anyway, sorry, Greg.
ask your spirit guides and guardian angels to help you get messages from them, and hopefully you get something in your dreams.
Well, I smoke pot and I don't dream anymore.
That might be why. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that get high and they can't remember their dreams. I don't know
Maybe
what.
I shouldn't, because I'm a worrier in a way. So when I fall asleep, I know that I have to. I'm in another dimension doing things that I'm not doing here on Earth. That is what I
Definitely.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I like that dimension. It feels more like home
yeah.
when I'm sleeping, and the dream stage for me is more like home. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy.
To me,
But
it reminded me of a African, or like some along the lines of the African bloodline. I don't know if you have some type of bloodline within that, but you might have some ancestral energy within that blood frame, and it could be an entity trying, or like an energy trying to come through to you and say, "Hey, I'm here if you call onto me." So, just the way like its head was shaped, it just I don't. They're not coming to me at the moment, but they're a certain star race, and it's probably where you're from.
what I normally get is I wake up in the morning with a song that I haven't heard for a very long time. And then what I normally do is I go onto Google and check the words out. And then from that, I do get messages. But it's just like also strange. It's like a song I haven't heard for ages. And then all of a sudden, I get a message out of that. So that's how I get my messages, what to do for the day, or maybe whatever the case may be. It differs. But sometimes it's to guide me in a certain way. And sometimes it's just like to tell my current state and things like that. But I get it into songs that pops into my head first thing in the morning.
I'll have that. Yeah, I agree with that, Edwin. I'll get that, throughout the day. It'll be some obscure song that it wouldn't be
Just
typical
random.
that I would typically listen to, but I know that there's a message within that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you mute me, please?
What's that?
Can you mute me, please? Because I
Yeah,
have to help.
you could.
Otherwise,
Okay. All right.
Noise.
All right. You're muted. At least you didn't
You
go.
need to teach
Can
him
you
where
mute me?
the mute button
And
is.
so, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Actually,
Yeah,
earlier tonight, I drew some cards, and I got some oracle cards I want to read for you guys. The first one we're doing is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. And this card I got, the goddess we have is Mary Magdalene. Unconditional love is the message that we're getting on this one. So what it says here, and forgive my tie-dye fingers that look nasty, but it says, love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. So little further reading on this. I'm not what most people think, yet to defend myself would be to sink to a lower level than I feel comfortable with. I am one with the divine, just as you are. And it is here that I choose to reside. The lower levels of human bickering, judgment, and chaos are just that, lower levels. I choose to do my work from the level of the higher consciousness, where love reigns supreme. It's here where we do the most good. And I urge you to do the same. Where you dwell in consciousness is where you truly dwell. So focus your thoughts on the good things that you can find in people and rise above all appearances otherwise. And that is so true. That is unconditional love. You know, it's like I've said numerous times, if we could just look past this meat suit and see that true divine spark inside of everyone, which most of us do here anyway, you know, but if the world could do that and just see that beauty, inner beauty, that spark of divine pureness that we all have, it would be a completely different world out there. So I really love
Definitely
that.
do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we can like broadcast that type of message. I've tried in the past with meditation, trying to boost that that idea and things like that. And I think one of your episodes also, you said like in the morning when everybody's still like asleep, everybody's very catchy to messages and stuff like that. So like get up early in the morning and then try to broadcast this and see if we can some sort of way change the world. I think eventually, if enough people does it, it will happen. Everybody in its own time zone, if I can put it that way. That would be like awesome. I would love it. I would
It's
love it.
crazy.
That would be marvelous.
It's crazy how much you know, the mainstream media, at least here in the United States, is pushing this fear propaganda, but yet people aren't buying it anymore. It's like they can try to put that out there, but we realize that that's not the reality that we want to see for ourselves, and it's not
Exactly.
working on us anymore.
No. It's like here in South Africa, there was you get a lot of messages, you know, on Facebook and stuff like that, or WhatsApp and so. But I think South Africa is one of the few countries that's making a joke of just about everything that's happening in the world. Like for the coronavirus, for instance. I mean, every day I get like 6 or 7 jokes about the coronavirus. And, you know, it's like also like you just said, nobody takes it very seriously. Rather make a joke about it, you know, and it's what's going on over here. You know, every day there's just like a joke or something coming along. But yeah, that's the way I think she should be. It's not that
Great.
glum feeling, oh, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Just do your thing and do your thing right, and that's it. You will stay out of trouble.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's, you know, people are freaking out in certain places here in the United States, and other places like here in Florida, it's non-existent as far as I can see here in Sarasota. You know, there's plenty of antiseptic stuff and toilet paper and everything that other places are going crazy and doing their binge shopping on.
Yeah.
There's plenty of that stuff here. People don't care about that crap here.
Yeah.
Got another card though. I'm going to do this one. This is from the Spirit Messages Daily Guidance Oracle deck from John Holland, psychic, wonderful psychic. I enjoyed going to see him one time. And the card that I drew for the group is a father's love. So this one says a father's love for his son or daughter never dies. The strength gained from such love is often unquantifiable in that it can be tapped into at any time for whatever reasons, whether your father is still here or has passed. A father's love is one of the strongest bonds any of us will ever experience. And if my daughter's watching this, she can attest. Because I love that little girl. She turns 26 this year, but she'll always be my baby. And yeah, I love her more than anything on this planet, and she knows it. Yeah, so, matter of fact, I have her coming down from New York next month, and I can't wait. I cherish every millisecond with her. So those were 2 great cards. You know, if you're a woman you know, most women, most girls can wrap their father around his little pinky, and he won't even know. My daughter did that, and it's a beautiful. Well, it's kind of actually sad because I was a child and family therapist, and I couldn't realize how she was controlling me and manipulating me. But you know, it's still a love that is indescribable, you know, that you have with your children, especially the father-daughter, mother-son relationships. So I thought those were great cards. So we had unconditional love and a father's love. So we actually had the divine feminine, unconditional love, and the divine masculine with the father's love. So they were two perfect cards for us to have this evening. So, and right now it is 6:12. So I think what we're going to do is wrap it up on that note. I want to thank everybody for joining me here on our late night, early morning chat. Crazy. But I want to also encourage everyone to, you know, if you enjoy shows like this, to check us out on in5d.net. I just, as a matter of fact, I just uploaded a ton of new shirts yesterday and today. So the crown chakra shirts, I got one sacral chakra, and then the 12 or the 7 chakras, 14 different gemstones in the die on these. So check those out there. And also you can help support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/in5d. There's various tiers that you can join on there. Matter of fact, on the 11/11, I got the mid-month energy report coming up here. I'll probably start working on it tomorrow. I've got a bunch of stuff put aside. I'll be putting that together though tomorrow and the following day. That'll be coming out shortly. So I want to thank everyone for joining us both here on Zoom. Our new family members that came on and talked. Edwin was here, and where'd she go? Oh, there you are. There's Helga.
There you go.
Glad you guys could make it on, and you know, I don't know if you guys are able to make it any times during the 7 o'clock Eastern time, but maybe we'll do something, you know, more conducive for our friends overseas and in different time zones, so we can do something like this again. So, and I want to thank everyone too that's in YouTube, in the chat room on YouTube there as well. See a lot of people that are there. Surprised there's so many people that joined us at this time, but then again, we are reaching a whole different crowd in Europe and abroad. So once again, thank everyone for joining us. And until the next time, I'm sending you all infinite love and light. So take care.
Namaste.
Namaste. Love you all.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.